Tapping into the Chinese car boom, a dealer's guide to making the most of new brands. According to Auto Trader's Road to 2030 report, 2 in 5 UK cars, 2 in 5 again, they've gone off percentages now. 2 in 5 UK car buyers are open to considering a Chinese car. In the next 5 years, Chinese brands will make Auto Trader got the crystal ball out again. In the next 5 years, Chinese brands will make significant inroads into the UK market. For retailers, success will depend on selecting the right brands while achieving profitability quickly. A challenging balancing act where marketing teams play a crucial role. If you're considering adding a Chinese brand to your dealership, we explain why if these people would stop being so condescending, they might stand a chance of selling EVs to normal people. If you're considering adding a Chinese brand to your dealership, we explain why educating buyers, because you're too stupid, you buyers out there, the only reason you're not buying a Chinese EV is because you need educating. Don't forget that. Next time somebody offers you a Chinese EV or an EV, don't forget, if you don't buy it, it's because you're not very educated. We explain why educating. So this is Auto Trader, who can't even get the one purpose is selling dealers cars. We explain why educating buyers on their benefits compared to established manufacturers is essential. Why? Why would you want to do that? Why don't you just let people make their own choice? Why do you need to educate them, Auto Trader, on Chinese vehicles? What are you getting out of it? What about all those other vehicles that are already in the car park that you're advertising? And these Chinese vehicles aren't here yet. So what about this? What about you keep your fucking nose out and you advertise the cars that are available here and now so that the dealers today make money and they just continue to grow. And in 5 years' time, they'll be making money. No thanks to you, I might add. We'll also cover how detailed buyer personas can help identify the right audiences and drive sales. China has carved out its position as an EV leader. Over the last decade, Chinese brands have invested heavily in electric vehicles, EVs, and hybrid electric vehicles, HEVs. The UK now has the third largest EV market globally, because all the others have crashed completely and we're still throwing money at ours. Ours has crashed, we just don't know it. Ours is flatlined. You know, they're there with the paddles. The UK now has the third largest EV market globally. 41.6% of 2024's new car sales were EVs or HEVs. Research from EY indicates 59% of UK drivers planning to buy in the next 2 years are prioritising electric. Really? So, research from EY indicates 59% of UK drivers planning to buy in the next 2 years are prioritising electric hybrid or plug-in hybrid models. But, what day is this? March the 21st? (24th of March), nearly 2/3 of UK motorists have no plans to buy an EV. Okay. That's strange, isn't it? It's almost like none of these surveys mean a thing. Research from EY indicates 59% of UK drivers planning to buy in the next 2 years are prioritising electric, hybrid or plug-in hybrid models. So I think I found the article, and it's a press release from 21st of October 2024 that they've dredged up. UK electric vehicle buying intent rises despite challenges, EY report reveals. UK consumer sentiment towards electric vehicles is gathering significant momentum while buying intent for petrol and diesel vehicles continues to decline, according to EY's latest Mobility Consumer Index. 59% of UK respondents intending to buy a vehicle in the next 2 years said their preference would be a battery electric vehicle, BEV, hybrid electric vehicle, HEV, or plug-in hybrid electric vehicle, PHEV, up from 54% in 2023 and marginally above the average across the major auto markets surveyed, which is 58%. Specifically, 23% said they were most likely to buy a BEV next, up from 19% last year, and 27% said they would opt for a HEV, up from 25% last year. Meanwhile, 10% of respondents said they were most interested in purchasing a PHEV, in line with last year's figures. In contrast, only 36% of respondents intending to buy a vehicle said they would prefer to purchase an internal combustion engine ICE vehicle, down notably from 41% in 2023 and slightly lower than the average across the major auto markets surveyed as part of EY's latest Mobility Consumer Index, 37%. Overall, 56% of UK respondents said they were either extremely likely or somewhat likely to purchase a vehicle in the next 2 years, up significantly from 45% and the highest figure of any European community. According to UK respondents, the leading factor driving increased interest in EVs is environmental concerns, with 35% citing this as a key reason for wanting to purchase one. Meanwhile, 31% cited high fuel prices and 27% identified rising penalties on ICE vehicles, such as additional taxes, as a key concern driving increased preferences towards EVs. So let's drill down on this. 36% are going to buy internal combustion engines. 23% are buying fully electric vehicles. 23% is less than the 28% mandate we have this year. So we're not going to hit the mandate on battery electric vehicles. What have the hybrids got in common? They've all got a petrol or diesel engine, haven't they? So basically, they're counting hybrids as well, let me see, 27% and 23%, that's 50%, isn't it? And 10% are interested in buying a plug-in hybrid, so that's 60%. But the hybrids have a petrol or diesel engine, and they've hardly any range. They're mostly petrol and diesel, they're mostly used for petrol and diesel travel. So yet again, this article is just a load of bullshit. Absolute crap, with figures taken out of context and used for an agenda. It's rubbish. The way I read that, and the way that the EV people read it, because they don't even recognise hybrids as electric vehicles. So therefore, let me rewrite your headline. 77% of the 59% of respondents are basically going to have an engine. For buyers focused on environmental concerns or wanting to get ahead of the government deadlines for phasing out petrol and diesel cars, a Chinese EV could be the perfect fit. A Chinese vehicle that's coming from a place, let me just show you this. Annual CO2 emissions. United Kingdom are there, China there. Do you know what? I'm starting to think I'm clever. Next to these people, I must be. Chinese EV could be the perfect fit. Why a Chinese EV? Why not a lovely VW EV? Why not a lovely Vauxhall EV? A lovely Citroen EV. Citroens have got some lovely cars. Those Renaults now, great. Audis, BMWs, Mercedes. Those Fords. Why Chinese? Why single Chinese people out? I'm asking you the question. And the reason I'm asking you the question is because I can't tell you the answer because I don't want to get sued. Economies of scale create appealing price points, and also the fact that the government, the Chinese government, is subsidising them. Also, when the other guys, the legacy EV makers, don't hit the ZEV mandate, they have to buy carbon credits or pay 15,000 euros. I don't know why I'm laughing, because it's not funny. Chinese brands often offer lower priced models than Western equivalents, even at higher specifications. Yeah, they've made a car now which goes sideways into a parking spot. Whoopee. Or jumps over a puddle. Again, whoopee. Just make one that doesn't depreciate like a brick. That's all we want. This is due to economies of scale in raw material sourcing and manufacturing. Read Cobalt Red. Read how much China bought the rights to mine cobalt or take the cobalt, or they're getting 80% of the Republic of Congo's cobalt. The child labour that everybody denies is happening, but is actually happening. Yep, it goes in your phone too. Since I read it, guess what? I used to get a new phone every year. Now, I'm kind of only buying stuff that I really need at the time. Read Cobalt Red. It's harrowing. It's absolutely harrowing. What we go back to there. For buyers focused on environmental concerns or wanting to get ahead of the go, you know, who wrote this? No, it doesn't say who wrote it. That's unusual. As EV prices align with new ICE vehicles, they're reducing them because nobody will pay more than an ICE vehicle for them. So they're having to give them away in order to sell them. As EV prices align with new ICE vehicles, buyers benefit from lower monthly payments. Not really, because the residual value is not as good. So I think you'll find that that's not really a correct statement. Buyers benefit from lower monthly payments, reduced depreciation, and a more active used market. All those statements are completely incorrect. Buyers benefit from a lower monthly payment. Well, I think you'll find that they don't. Reduced depreciation. They depreciate more. You've said it yourself. It's a well-known fact that after 12 months, an EV, the same make, the same model, same specification, same mileage, is worth £2,560, an average of £2,560 less than the ICE vehicle, which cost £10,000 to £15,000 less. That's crap. Rubbish. You know, honestly, I've got to stop swearing, but I just can't. This is it's garbage. It's absolute rubbish. A more active used market. Features like touchscreen and reversing cameras, often optional extras or subscriptions in other brands, are typically standard in Chinese. Rubbish. Absolute rubbish. I can't believe this crap. Auto Trader's survey found 17 to 34-year-olds are most interested in Chinese cars, citing affordability. Again, as a key motivator. Has any of them here said, oh, Chinese brands they're like Porsches and Mercedes, that's why we want to buy them. No, it's price. Nobody compares Chinese vehicles to Porsches and Mercedes. Nobody. Let's just go, let me see if I can find it again, because I'll lose my track here now. DM Keith Carter added that they found they had to increase services to meet expectations of BYD owners. He said, we've been on this journey with BYD for 2 years now, so it started off slower. We found actually we're getting compared by customers to Mercedes and Porsche, and they're coming into us and saying, the experience I expect from an after-sales perspective is the equivalent of what I've been delivered in the past. You know, when they used to buy Porsches and Mercedes and now they're buying Chinese shite. Auto Trader survey found 17 to 34-year-olds are most interested in Chinese cars. They're most interested in Chinese cars. So 17 to 34-year-olds are most interested in Chinese cars. They don't want a VW. They don't want a Citroen. They don't want a Vauxhall. They're most interested in Chinese cars. Again, I'm going to have to call bullshit. Citing affordability as a key motivator. So it's not because they think they're like a Porsche or a Mercedes, it's the price. Marketing around an affordable premium theme can resonate with this audience. So now Auto Trader are telling dealers how they need to appeal to 17 to 34-year-olds to get them to buy a Chinese EV. Build brand recognition to capture buyers. Chinese brands may be here to stay. Maybe. Well, 90% of them won't. They'll be going bankrupt, because that's the figures. That's what they project. So, but there will be a few hurdles to overcome. Brand loyalty is declining, especially for EV drivers. But brand recognition is still important for appealing to buyers. That means allocating marketing spend to education. Education again, says Faye Thomason, head of marketing at MediaHawk. Comparing Chinese models to familiar ones like an Amoda 5 versus a Nissan Qashqai helps buyers relate. Well, ain't they all just lovely, eh? Why don't they just mind their own business? Why Chinese? What difference does it make? What does she do? Head of marketing at MediaHawk. MediaHawk. Faye Thomason, head of marketing. Market leader with extensive experience in developing and executing high-impact marketing strategies that drive business growth and brand development. Call tracking. So, they've really called in the big guns there, haven't they, to help sell Chinese vehicles and to tell us car dealers that have only been doing it for 50 years. They've got the head of marketing from a call centre, call tracking, to tell us what we need to do to sell cars. Thank you very much. Stick to call tracking. Clear breakdowns of cost, features and mileage per charge also support decision making. A Moda 5. So they're comparing a Moda 5 to all these other things. As these cars are new to the UK, it can be difficult to know who the real target market is for each model, says Thomason from the call centre. The manufacturers will have their own personas, and you can make an educated guess based on who buys similar cars. But until you start seeing inquiries, test drives and sales, there's no way to know if these personas are accurate. You can, however, start building your personas quickly and use the same insight to measure the effectiveness of your marketing activities. That starts with capturing as much data as possible. I think we know what Faye does, don't we? Nearly 70% of buyers surveyed by Auto Trader said they did their research both online and in person at a dealership. Off the forecourt, it can be tricky to pinpoint where a prospective buyer engaged with you first. Call tracking can help you map this journey by assigning different numbers to your PPC, pay-per-clicks, social ads, classifieds, and any other channels. So really speaking, she's no idea about Chinese cars, has she? She's no idea whatsoever. She's selling call tracking. Analysing calls to understand customers. Phone calls can be a treasure trove of information about what your buyers are looking for, their intent to test drive or buy, and their decision triggers. But pulling out These insights manually is tricky. Should I tell you what phone calls are for these days? They're for people who are selling call tracking to ring you up time and time again. For people who are selling card machines to ring you up time and time again. For people offering you a mobile phone contract, an electricity contract, a gas contract, your water bill. Do you want to know how many calls you get from Auto Trader? Honestly, on cars? We get calls from we did get calls from Auto Trader, and it was for some firm who are doing exactly what they're doing. They want to sell something to a car business. They've got a product to sell, key rings. So they go through Auto Trader, look for the numbers, ring up. Prospecting. All sorts of things. Do you know how many percent are actual customers? 30%, I would say. I do my call tracking, and I know where my customers came from. And these days, it's not so much Auto Trader. So, again, all this Chinese promoting just gets on my nerves. Really does. It's just rubbish. It's absolute bullshit. Don't take any notice of it. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Bye bye.